Hey guys, Owlouster here. I've gotten a lot of vehicle requests asking me to review some premium or event vehicle that I don't have, so I'd like to clarify. I'm free to play, and I'm also not a War Thunder partner, so I don't get monthly GE stipends and can't request test drives. All the premium vehicles I do have are from free Battle Pass rewards, the War Bond shop, SL crates, and event vehicles. I do on the rare occasion buy a vehicle by selling event coupons, but they've all been rank 4 and below. In fact, the highest BR premium plane I own is the J6K1, which I got from SL crates last week. I did make a video a while ago talking about my experience playing the game free to play, but it's pretty old, so I thought it'd be good to set the record straight for everyone who isn't aware. You might be asking why I stay free to play when I could probably sell some event coupons and have myself a lot of premium time or high tier vehicles, or why I don't apply for the War Thunder partnership since I do probably qualify for it. First, I do not like the way Gaijin monetizes their game and do not want to pay into or encourage their system. It's pretty common knowledge that Gaijin intentionally makes vehicle and modification grinding incredibly tedious and frustrating to drive people to purchase premiums. I'm not inherently against the idea of this research system, and it's not too bad in the lower tiers since vehicle research costs are relatively low and you have access to most of your kit out of the bag, but the higher BR you go, the steeper the research costs get, and at top tier it's just plain stupid to expect people to compete with 2 missiles and no chaff. So after manufacturing a problem, they sell you a solution. A lot of premiums are mediocre copy-paste vehicles, which aren't that interesting to begin with, but what really bothers me is when they add under-tiered and overpowered premiums. People complain about Gaijin being biased towards specific nations like Russia or America, but I think much more obvious is premium vehicle bias. There are a lot of especially blatant examples of this where you have a tech tree plane with an objectively better premium counterpart. A 4S, Airman's Yak 3, MiG-15 Bis-ish, MiG-29 Sniper, Nets Mod. You get the idea. Some of the differences are marginal enough to overlook, but this practice overall just really bothers me. And what does Gaijin actually do with all of their $80 premium sales? They aren't really addressing any of the issues that the game has or improving anything on a fundamental level. Servers are still inconsistent, you see vehicles jumping all over the place on the airfield and takeoff. ARB hasn't changed in a meaningful way over the span of a decade. You'd think with the number of people you see spamming out premium vehicles after a sale that Gaijin would have plenty of resources to reinvest into making the game better, but with each update it seems the quality of the game never really improves that much and usually actually goes down. Leading in from that point, I feel like there aren't that many free-to-play voices in the YouTube space, despite at least the plurality of the player base being free-to-play. So, major issues like stock grinds and research costs don't get covered nearly as much as I think they should. It makes sense that other YouTubers go for the partnership, since if their goal is entertainment, then stock grinding isn't a very useful use of their time. And if their goal is education, then it's better to get the vehicle quickly to review and inform potential players, especially if they have a lot of vehicles to review. But I think this creates a major blind spot where you rarely hear very much about stock grinds, since YouTube partners are going to use their GE and test drives to skip that process. And even with just premium time, you can spade your vehicles 2 to 3 times faster. So by staying free to play, hopefully I can help amplify issues and voices that typically aren't getting covered. So when Gaijin does make a vehicle grind unbearably frustrating, I want to feel that frustration instead of being insulated from it with spaded test drives so that hopefully we can do something about it. Also, for the most part, I already have plenty of vehicles to review that aren't premiums, so I don't really feel the need to go out and get one for myself. It's probably better for the algorithm to put out videos talking about the newest vehicles as soon as they release, but frankly speaking, I think we have enough people farming content with the new shinies the moment they hit the dev servers, and most of them say about the same thing, so I don't really care to add to the pile since I probably won't have anything new or interesting to say about them, at least at that moment. Instead, I'd prefer to grind them out at my own pace and review them once the hype dies down so I can provide a well-thought-out opinion, instead of talking about how overpowered or dead on arrival something is immediately after the patch drops. In addition, I feel like I already have a lot of value I can add to the discourse when reviewing props. They might not be the most interesting to the general audience, but still, I think the energy diagrams I make are an excellent resource that I use a lot myself, and can help inform even experienced players in a way that the in-game stat cards pretend to, but completely fail at. That being said, I do miss out on knowing how it feels to use those premium vehicles in-game, so it can be difficult to know how to counter them when reviewing other vehicles, especially if it gets spammed out a lot. But I don't think that's a good enough justification to cave. I think for those situations I don't mind having a somewhat shallower level of knowledge since I can already test fly them and generate energy diagrams and flight performance statistics with them. And the last reason is inertia. I've come this far being free to play, I've unlocked and spaded plenty of vehicles already, and there isn't something I need so desperately that it requires I pay up. Obviously, there are exclusive vehicles that I wish I could have or at least try, but frankly it's not that big of a deal and I can live without it. Also, I'm not broke, but I'm not really in a financial position to splurge money on video games, so I probably won't be doing that. So, this video is kind of a rant, but I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I don't have anything against people who aren't free to play. The grind is horrible, it's your money, and if you want to save time and maintain your sanity, then there really is no option but to pay up. I guess I just happen to have too much time on my hands, and I've already gone off the deep end, so I'm already a lost cause. And I also don't have anything against YouTubers in the War Thunder partnership. No need to waste your time doing unfun grinding when your goal is entertainment or education at a fast and consistent pace. I just wish more people with more weight could speak more openly about the issues that the game has. I've heard a fair few YouTubers almost tap into it but then cut themselves off and apologize for ranting too much, and I guess it makes sense if you're trying to entertain, but it's rather unfortunate for the state of the game and any attempts to push for change. There are definitely some who do speak on these issues, but they seem to be the exception, not the rule. Either way, I don't really want to cover new top-tier premiums since I don't want to give Gaijin any second-hand advertising, plus plenty of people already do cover them, so there's no real point in me doing so. Gaijin might have broken the promise of no rank 5 premium vehicles, but for me I think it's better I treat them as inaccessible. I'd prefer to take things at my own pace and prioritize keeping it real. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.